Hello everybody, I'm Nathan P. Butler from Grail Quest Books. I'm one of the writers on the new Wars: The Battle of Phobos graphic novella series, and I want to take this time very briefly to give you a quick tour, a quick preview of the first volume in that series, my first volume in the series, which is Wars: The Battle of Phobos, Healers and Hunters, also known as Earthers Volume 1. Now, if you haven't been following along, these are a series of graphic novellas that will eventually include 9 individual editions, 9 volumes, 3 Earther, 3 Gonjan, 3 Maverick. You could read them as a series of 9. You could read them as the 3 individual novellas from each faction. You could read them individually and have standalone stories. Personally, I think the entire series as a whole, the way it interweaves together, will be most interesting, but they're designed so that you can jump in at any time and have fun with the Wars universe, even if you've never played the card game or the role-playing game in your life. Though, I think those who have played those games will find a lot more to it this time around. They'll wind up finding side references, little nuances that they'll hopefully appreciate. The first in this series, as I said, is my first volume, Healers and Hunters, and it is this volume right here, recently made available through IndiePlanet.com, right now at a cover price of $15.99 plus shipping. You're looking at a novella here of about 114 individual pages. The storyline, based on the preview here, goes as follows. A rogue scientist has decided to turn over an ultra-rare piece of technology, the shrouds from the game, to a dangerous criminal organization, the Cartel, led by a man no one has seen, the Gambler. Z-Labs wants their tech back. Sin, with mover and shaker Jylin Wrath, wants the tech for intel and corporate power leverage, and the Cartel is more than happy to watch Earther and Mars leaders squirm at the thought of a maverick gang controlling game-changing technology with hostilities between the 2 planets at the breaking point. Remember, we're leading up to the Battle of Phobos. Z-Lab's captain, Rogan Hallard, has been tasked with recovering both the tech and the scientist under the guise of rescuing a CGC squad marooned on an asteroid in the belt, where the scientist was last reported to be heading. Until help arrives, Sergeant Jossel Swin and his CGC team will be pushed to the brink by a gauntlet of cartel thugs, the sword-wielding femme fatale Joker Danico, and a rogue stalker on a murderous rampage. Against a backdrop of a fractured humanity far along the path to war, all parties will discover they are caught in a crossfire of hidden agendas, controversial tech, and deadly personas. Featuring popular characters, events, and technology from Decipher's hit trading card game and RPG, this series of illustrated novellas detail events leading up to the largest battle humans have ever experienced, the Battle of Phobos. Okay. So, as you've seen already, this is a novella that deals with characters and situations developed for the original Decipher, TCG, and Mongoose Publishing RPG, the Wars universe as it's previously established. But remember, the Wars TCG and RPG took place in 2391. We're jumping back to 2388, beginning in September of that year. And yes, you'll find that this first novella, Healers and Hunters, deals with some characters and situations you may have had hints of before. As previously mentioned, Joker Danico, among the major Maverick characters in the novella. We will see Jossel Swin as a member of the CGC squad. We'll be looking at some background on Jossel Swin here. We've always been very curious about his card text. A former squad leader, Swin was demoted when his hatred of the Mavericks manifested in extreme violence. Since the rift opened, his sanity has been in constant flux. Of course, we also have our Sin, mover and shaker, as I call him, the puppet master, so to speak, Jylin Wrath. We have a team from the Cartel, who are headed up, of course, by the Gambler. We will see Janet Jens as a member of the CGC squad. Janet Jens, of course, we know from the short story Cloud and from her Level 2 Guru card. We will, of course, see other Mavericks involved. In fact, the first Maverick we'll meet won't be Joker Danico, but Pepper Tokarates from the Fortune Seeker card. And as I mentioned, they're going after the technology known as the Shrouds, prototypes of Shroud technology. And of course, Two of our major heroic characters will be Captain Rogan Hallard of Z-Labs, his right-hand man, Jerlin Cray, from Ranger Watchmen, and of course they are the captain and first mate, so to speak, the two major members of the Shadow Surfer crew. So we're seeing a lot of stuff coming directly out of the game, creating the background. Now, this is a graphic novella. So it's $15.99, again, right now on IndiePlanet.com. What you'll find is it is illustrated throughout. For example, each individual chapter heading has an individual card image. Like in this case, we have the, gray market middleman, Slick Tommy Gianbua. So each chapter has its own little image there to start it out. We also have a few instances where card images make up full page images. And we have instances where original brand new artwork was created by Samantha Nowak, including the cover art here, to create other new full-sized, full-page images like this one of Joker Danico going after a couple of our other characters here. If you're to go to it by the numbers, what we have here is a book that has 21 different images in it coming from the card game, 6 of which are full-sized images. Then we have 4 other brand new illustrations from Samantha Nowak, making up 4 other full-sized images, and we have a 5th from her that makes up our cover image here. We also have 4 different images in there that are essentially sketches of War's technology used as sort of flavor images, and a couple of images that come from the primer that Decipher created for new writers in the series and new developers as the card game was being pushed early on. So, illustrated throughout, which sort of enriches the experience, what we have here, in this case at least, a tale of essentially a chase, trying to get this technology and figure out who's going to wind up with it in their hands by the end of the story, as tensions in the solar system are already rising between the Gonjan and Earth, with the Mavericks sort of playing off of both sides here and there. We're also seeing the development of some of our characters who will be repetitive, or repeating, whatever you want to call it, recurring heroic characters like Janet Jens, Rogan Hallard, Jerlin Cray, characters like that of course will be familiar to those who have played the game, but intriguing to those who haven't nonetheless. You can also check this out in ebook format. It is already available on the Kindle without the images in it, just the text, for $2.99, and it will soon be available for the Nook and other ebook readers. I hope you'll take the time to check out Wars: The Battle of Phobos, especially Volume 1, Healers and Hunters. Again, you can find it at IndiePlanet.com. You can find more background information on the Facebook page for the Wars universe or at GrailQuestBooks.com. For GrailQuest Books and Wars, this has been Nathan Butler. Thank you for listening, and I hope you'll enjoy the book.